Welcome back, everybody, to the episode 2 with Michael Cavalieri of the Sicilian Queens, and he's going to share with us his journey of making the film. Is it a short story film?
Well, actually, it's a long story, but I'll tell you the short part of this long story.
Ritornato. And so please, if you get a chance and to find out stuff about Michael, information, follow him on social media, wherever you can, and share his beautiful posts that he posts about Sicily. And so to you, Michael, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Before we go to Michael, I just wanted to say that I'm dying to get you here to Australia, and I've known we spoke about it before COVID, but we will get you here.
Lina, when am I coming? I'm coming soon, I hope.
Yes, you are. As soon as COVID's opening, we'll arrange it, Michele. Così super l'aereo alla casa mia non devi trovare.
We want you there because we want Melbourne and Australia.
Carmela, Lina, I was telling Carmela, I have a lot of fans. This guy that's from Serata, near Sorrento.
Yeah,
he knows me from Karate Kid, and he's like, I'm a big fan of yours, and they call me all the time. So he's a rocker, he's a rock star, and in one of those cover bands, Greg Jupe. But anyway, he's like, you got to come. You please. I said, I'm talking to the girls tonight. So it's funny. He'll be on to watch.
There's a lot of Sicilians here. There's 55,000.
I know. I studied it. I saw some of the cooking shows and stuff, and it's wonderful. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Tell us.
I think we're talking about Ritornato, right?
Ritornato.
Okay, Ritornato was born out of the loss of my mom, my father, my sister, and my journey to Sicily, meeting my grandfather's brother. That really inspired me to come home. After my second time there, I came home and I just started writing. I've never written anything before in my life. I could write a check, could write my name, but I never wrote a script. I don't even know how to put it in form. I don't even know what that means. I write with a pen. My wife has to type everything for me. So I just started writing, and everything poured out of my soul. And I was just writing and for days and days and days. And finally, I lifted my head up. I had like 100 pages. I was like, wow. Anyway, I knew that I had written a few pages before this many years earlier. Like I said to you, I was trying to write, but I just couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
And I said to my wife, I said, there's a book called The Artist's Way, and I know I wrote like some scenes in there. You know that. You know that, Lina?
Yeah, I've got that book.
Okay, there you go. See, simpatico. So I was looking for it. We had bought a new house. I was looking for it through all the stuff, and I found it. And it was exactly what I wrote 15 years ago. The scenes that I wrote present day were exactly the same. I couldn't believe it. I mean, word for word. It's like incredible. Like a visual, like visually I see it. Anyway, getting past that. So I crafted this story that I kind of intermingled Sicily with my mom, New York. And then 20 years later, I'm in Sicily. So my mom had passed away 20 years earlier, but I kind of mingled it together and make a story about our conversations when she was dying of cancer. And one day I was going through some stuff in the garage, and I pulled out some old pictures of my grandfather, and I didn't know who they were. So when I went up to my mom's room to talk to her, and I would share these photos with her, and she started to tell me about Limina, the town where my grandfather's from. And that's how the story, that's how I wrote the story, about my conversations with her about Limina, about that journey. And that she was supposed to go with my grandfather, but then things got bad, and her brothers passed away, and she never got an opportunity to go. And so in my struggle in the film of dealing with my dad, not seeing eye to eye with my father, my mother being very sick, and my father's in prison, I was in between both of them, struggling, trying to find out how to deal with it. But I always had memories of my grandfather. And that was the thing that held me strong, was to always try to do things the way my grandfather taught me to do it. So it flashes back to me as a young boy with my grandfather. And then it comes to present day with me and my dad and my mom, and I'm in the middle. So I decided, I said, it would be really interesting if Vincent, that's the name of the character, takes a journey after the mother passes away to try to figure out who he is. And he ends up in Sicily. And that experience that I had in Sicily, finding my grandfather's brother, truly was an experience for me. So I said, I use that as an experience that changed his life and changed the way that he looks at his father. Because grandpa left, but he left things behind that he didn't know he left behind, whatever. So I decided that was going to be my story. All true, just different time zones, you know, different years.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you play yourself?
Yes, I play myself.
Can
But
I
what
ask
happened
why?
was,
I was going to say, you used the character's names, Vincent. Why did you diversify from your original name for your birth name?
you know, I just felt like, you know what, I wanted it to be a narrative. I wanted it to be something that it could be any guy or any woman going back to find something.
Perfect,
I didn't want, you know,
perfect.
you know what I mean? I just wanted people to I wanted to disappear and just be an actor, even though I was the guy, just be Vincent. So that
Fantastic.
people didn't say Michael, you know?
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for
yeah.
sharing that.
I was asked that a couple of times and just what I felt. So I had the long story pretty much done, and I called a couple of friends that I knew that were writers and editors and directors, and I said, guys, I don't know what I'm doing, but can you read this and tell me what you think? So I sent it to a very, very close friend of mine who I really, really respect. He was very talented, and he got back to me, goes, Michael, you never wrote before? I said, no. He goes, it's unbelievable. I said, what do you mean? He goes, it's unreal. He goes, it's so honest and so true. I'm like, really? He goes, listen, it's not a finished script by any stretch, but what you have here is authentic and priceless. So then he helped me kind of structure it and craft it and move it around. And then, and I get really antsy. And I said, you know what? If I wait to do this, it's going to take 5 years to raise money for a big film like this. I'm a doer. I said, you know what? I'm going to put up my own money and take the Sicilian part of it and shoot it myself. So I'm going to take that moment in time that I said to you guys earlier when I went to Sicily and I met my grandfather's brother and that whole day that I was there and make that just a film and take it out of the whole script and use that part just to make a film. So I created a film and I started writing just a short of the long. I shortened it to a short, even though I still have the long piece. I just wanted to take this because I knew I could afford to do that much. And I owed it to the people in Sicily and I owed it to my mother and I owed it to myself that if I don't do this, nobody's going to do this, so I'm going to do it. So I started concocting in my head how I'm going to do this. A year previous, we were in Sicily and I was asking around. I said, anybody know a cinematographer? And this one guy goes, I know this guy, blah, blah, blah. And then I just kind of just let it go. I didn't follow through with it because I don't think I was ready to follow through.
Yeah.
So when I went back the second time, I went to the same place because we needed like a thing for our Wi-Fi. And of course, my wife didn't want to stay. So we got to stay. We got to talk to this guy, Daniele. I need to talk about the cinematographer. Anyway, long story short, I called the cinematographer. He lived literally down the street. Right?
Of course.
All ready. It's like everyone was ready, waiting for you.
Right?
The line's waiting.
Right. So he comes. I'm in Santateresa, laying on the beach. He shows up. 10 minutes. He comes. And I say, come on, I'll take you to lunch. And he speaks a little bit of English. So we go to lunch. I tell him, this is what I want to do. And he's looking at me like I got three heads. You know, he's got this guy, you know, American, Sicilian American. Is he crazy? Maybe he thought I was crazy. And maybe I am. So I said, I want you to meet me in Limina on Sunday. He goes, Limina? I said, yeah, I want to go to Limina on Sunday. I want to show you what I want to do. We go to Limina on Sunday, and I show him exactly what I want. And he's looking at me, and I'm actually writing the story. I'm finishing the story as I'm showing him. Yeah. I hadn't had to finish it, but I'm finishing it because I know what I want. Ba, 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 beep, boop, boop. And we do it. And he looks at me, and I said, listen, Fabrizio, we'll do this next year. In 6 months, we'll do this. Okay. He probably thought this was never going to happen.
Yeah. Mm.
Anyway, every day for 6 months, we talk on the phone. I need this, I need that, I need this, I need this. I got my cousin, my crazy cousin, Turidu. Cousin, I need the Panini truck. I need this. He goes, no problem. I said, I need the apartment. Yeah, but I need it to rent. I said, Turi, I need this. I need the Minishpio. You know, he's fighting with they fight. The politics are no good, so I'm having problems there. Finally, we're supposed to shoot in September. I said, you know what? I'm going to submit myself to this contest and see what happens, right? So the guys, it's called the National Italian American Federation. in America. It's the biggest foundation for Italian Americans.
What is it?
It's called the National Italian American Foundation.
Yeah.
And the people that run it are the Russo brothers, who did all the Marvel movies, the Expendables, everything, right?
The Marvel movie. Hold on. The Marvel Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just a little.
Sicilian.
And they're Sicilian. So they're Sicilian, by the way. So they take like 5 scripts and they give you a grant to shoot your film or your idea. What? So I submitted, and there was thousands of people. I think there was like 5,000 people from all over the country, and also in Italy and everywhere. I didn't expect to win, but I said, what the hell? What do I care? You know? So, and I was planning to shoot in September in Limina. So I had everything going there. And then I was working out one morning, and I get this email. He goes, "You won." I'm like, "What?" I'm looking. I'm like, "What? You won the grant?" I'm like, "Get out of here!" I call my wife. I'm like, "We won. We won." She's like, "Oh my God! Oh my God!"
Stop.
So,
Stop.
but it wasn't a lot.
Stop.
Go ahead, Abba.
Time out.
Okay, time out.
Are you listening, everybody?
Yeah.
Are you listening? This man writes a script, submits it, 5,000 people, and out of 5,000, he gets the grant. Are you listening?
Well, 8 people got it. 8 people got it. I was one of 8.
Oh!
8.
That's huge. And not only that, you went in there going, I'm going to do this. And you know what I thought about when you did that, when you said that? I was thinking of your mother.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Lina, I got to be honest. Lina, what I wrote, if you guys, and what you were talking about before about your father, Lina, and Carmela, what you were talking about, how you feel, if you saw what I wrote, because I had to do like I had to answer questions and things that I had to do to, plus the idea and all this stuff. But what I wrote was bleeding from my soul about being a Sicilian American, about not wanting to be, about mafiosi, not wanting to be this. We are musicians, we are artists, we're much better than this. You know, and I knew history, and I knew the Sika, I knew everything that these people don't even know, and I knew it. Because they're not as educated as I am in film, trust me, in certain things, because they're more Americanized. I know, because I studied film in Sicily and Italy, I studied the film.
Oh,
May
wow.
I ask you what your mother's name was?
Yeah.
Mary. So what I think really had them was how it was written, the love and the passion and the soul by what it was written. Now, when I got the grant, it was like a little crazy because it wasn't a lot of money, but it was a lot of money that it was enough money to get me to where I had to go to and pay for me to get there and pay the crew for the minimal days that I need them. And then I had to put obviously my money in later. But the fascinating thing was I had to change dates because I was shooting in September. Now I had to be done by September.
Ooh.
So I had to change a Sicilian crew that they don't even know what they're doing. They're crazy. So they, Sicilians, they're all over the place, and we tried to figure it out. Finally, we got it all figured out, and we go in July.
Can we just stop for a minute too? Because in Sicily, the pace, like America and Australia, is totally different.
It's crazy.
It's tomorrow. It's the next day. It's what's your problem? What's your hurry?
Piano piano.
Lontano.
I couldn't get them to work after. They wanted the brioche
and the heat too. It would have been
the cappuccino and brioche before I start work. To go, no, we need cappuccino. Oh, so me, I'm a worker. I'm like, guys, you got to get up at 6. You got to be on the set by 7.
Oh,
they're looking at So finally, they decided. They came at 8, but they were always late. But they came at 8. They tried, and they were beautiful, by the way. I love them all. But anyway, we got there. It was 115 degrees, and I'm like shooting my first day. I never met any of the crew. I only knew one guy, one person. Nobody spoke English, and I'm like directing, acting in it. I'm acting in it, directing it.
Do you understand Sicilian?
Yeah, but I don't understand it good enough that I could. So what I did was I was smart. My wife tells me sometimes I'm smart.
Furbo, perché sto furbo.
Sì. My wife, as I told Carmela, Lina, works in an Italian Panzanella, Sicilian restaurant in Los Angeles. I was taking lessons from this kid who's Sicilian, and I really loved him. Huh? He's from Catania.
Let's meet Maria.
Yeah, where's your bicere? Porta the bicere.
Right here.
Ciao. Ciao, Bella.
So Maria worked in Panzanella with Giuseppe. Giuseppe was coming to teach me, Sicilian, Italian, just to get me comfortable so I could do a few things. So I thought to myself, wait a minute, I'm not going to be able to understand anybody. I'm directing my first project. I wrote my first, I'm starring in the project. I said to myself, I'm going to cast Giuseppe as the translator that I met in Sicily that helped me translate the story of my grandfather.
O furbo faciste.
Eh? So I said to Giuseppe, and he was going to Milan. I said, you're coming to Sicily. He goes, what do you mean? I said, you come, you'll be my assistant, and you're playing a part. He goes, really? No way. I said, yeah. So he came. And I got to tell you, if it wasn't for him, I'm in trouble. We don't do this movie. So he did great. And I would, Giuseppe, I need this, and that. And you know what? We want to know something? I said to my wife before we left, we rehearsed every day. And I would drive her crazy, right?
Yeah.
Every day. Because I said to her, if they don't understand or they can't remember their lines, because I hired all non-actors, just people from the town.
Cousin
Turi, I hired, he was great. But they don't understand what it takes to be on a film and to say the lines and whatever. I said, we must be so prepared that if they can't do it, the camera goes on us and we do the scene. But you want to know something? The first day, we ended up ahead of schedule. It was unbelievable.
Wow. But we rehearsed.
Because we rehearsed. With
them too.
When I got to Sicily, my cousin's crazy. He has a panini truck on the beach. He's a character. So the first thing I do when I go to Sicily, I go to his panini truck. Cousin, cugino. He goes, I got the script. I know everything. I said, okay. I said, let's read it. He starts to read. He knows nothing. I said, oh, no. So I had him rehearse with the other actors, came to my apartment, and we worked for a couple days to get them to understand cut, action, understand what we wanted, what I needed. And you want to know something? They were beautiful. Beautiful. And I'm going to tell you their names because they're special.
Go on.
Every one of them.
I want to know.
Turidu Alabrandi, my cugino.
Played himself.
Sabato Cogliatori, played Peppino. Federico played me as a young boy. He's absolutely stunning. Luisa Ipadrino played my mom. She was beautiful. Maurizio Cristofiuli played the records man. Maria Teresa Rizzo, crazy lady in the records, crazy. Who else was there? My beautiful wife, Maria. Played my wife, my girlfriend in the movie.
The girlfriend.
She was beautiful. My cast and crew, Francesco is so talented. Tommaso, Fabrizio was the young man that I talked to every day.
Our partner.
He's my partner, producing partner. He's a special young man. And I'm so proud of all of them. Santi, tutti, Emanuele, what's his name? Bianco.
And where did you do the shoot?
Maria Andazzo, tutti, all my crew, my cast.
And where did you shoot it all? I
love them all. I love them all. They're my spirit and my heart. So we finished this film in 5.5 days.
Wow.
Because I had to hit a deadline for the grant. If I don't hit the deadline, they don't give me the money.
Okay.
So I was under a lot of pressure, but I don't feel pressure. I just shoot and we do it. And we finished it. Now, we stayed in Sicily and we edited for 2 weeks. But I should have came back to America and edited. It would have been a lot easier for me. Trust me, it was very difficult. Molto difficile to edit in the little room. But they were great. They tried, but it was hard to do. I needed more. But anyway, we came back and we got the film done. We got one of the biggest sound companies in Hollywood called King Sound. They fell in love with my film. They said, we'll do it. They did it for hardly no money. My editor, Derek Druin, beautiful. And my executive producer, Peter Schenk. He's the one that led me to the promised land. Without Peter, this doesn't get done. He was my advisor, my Cavalieri, and he did everything for me. And then of course my beautiful wife was like the AD. She did the hair, she did the makeup. She's a great actress. She did the props. She got the food. She prepared the schedule. We had nobody else. 5 people, and we did.
Tutti, faccio tutti.
She did everything. So here we are with a film, and a short film that ended up being 42 minutes. And so I said to myself, I said, if I'm going to set it to festivals, they want it to be shorter, especially short film festivals. And I said, you know what? I'm not cutting it. It's too important to the people of Sicily. I won't cut it. I want all the people that were in Sicily speaking Sicilian in this film. I'm not cutting it. I did it for them. That's it. So what happened was, I showed it here at the Lemley in LA, and I got great response. People were crying, bawling all over. I was like, wow.
There's a lot of Sicilians there too, isn't there?
No, there was, you know what's funny? They weren't Sicilian. That's the funny thing. There were a lot of just American, Jewish. A lot of them were really hit by it, and they were blown away by it. Some were, obviously going to be critical, and there's always critical people, and I get it. Then I was invited to New York City. The people behind the Columbus Foundation, the Columbus Day Parade, invited me to New York to show it to their private group. And a lot of the people that are there are from Limina.
From Limina.
Oh, what?
So, yeah.
I mean.
So I showed it to about 120 people. They were crying.
Every
generation, they were crying. They knew everything.
They got.
Kissing me, bawling.
Laughing, bawling.
And they gave us a great review. One of the girls is a reviewer. She said, it's like cinema paradiso. She goes, it hits you in the soul, and it brings you back to a place that's, she goes, I was watching the people in the audience, and they felt their homeland. So I was really, I felt so beautiful.
So
and then I went.
Something, Michael, when there was a lot of migration, did a whole lot of people from Limina come?
Limina, yeah. They went from, when my grandfather came from Limina, he left in 1921 and went to New York.
A lot in New York.
To Ellis Island, ended up in Harlem, New York, where there was a lot of a lot of Sicilians, and then he ended up into the Bronx.
Yeah.
In his later years, when I knew him best, he came to Queens because he used to walk down from his house to my house, and we'd garden in the back. So a lot of people went from Limina to that area in the Harlem and the Bronx. So it's funny because later on now, when I found out there's a section of people from Limina, I said, well, I got to show it in New York. So they were all, they were all there, and they went crazy, and it was the best. It was such a beautiful night. And they called me, and afterwards, it was just very special. A woman named Anna Capucci. Anna was very special. She's from Limina. She really, and the Ricciardi family, Nat and his wife.
And their families took them back every year.
Yeah, so they go back every year to Limina. So, and then we went to the New Filmmakers Film Festival in New York, and we just recently won the audience award there.
Oh, well done!
Yeah, and then we sent it to the World Fest in Houston, and I just won Best Picture there. They just sent me, I think we spoke about that, so I'm going to Houston in a couple of weeks, they're probably in September. And then we were
power of the Sicilian soul.
Yeah, and then we were accepted into Taormina Film Festival, and I think I told you that.
Yeah.
When is that? When is that?
Well, that was supposed to be this month, but they canceled the festival because of COVID.
But next year? Will it be next year?
Well, I hope we'll end up going back, but if not, we'll be shooting next year there, so it doesn't matter. We'll be shooting another part there. So
I have a friend of mine who's got an apartment in Taormina. He's from Melbourne.
So
born in Taormina.
He'll meet me when I'm there next time.
I'm hoping to go. We're planning next May, June, actually.
I'll be there for 3 months, so you'll see me, and you'll be on my set.
We're all going to have an aperitivo on a balcony overlooking the beach in Taormina and
it's beautiful. We stay. Yeah, Taormina is special. We stay on the bottom, where we shot, where my cousin lives. Termina's on top, and on the bottom by the beach
But
is Santa Teresa.
Giardini
Yeah.
Naxos?
Not
Yes,
far,
yes.
not far,
Yep.
not far. It's
Okay.
we're more near Forza d'Agro in that area, but down on the beach.
Tell me, Michael, have you been to
Yeah.
Casa Cucini up there on top?
Where yes, we've been to top.
Castamola?
Yes, gorgeous.
Castamola?
Castamola.
Castamola.
No.
We hiked.
Casa Cucini.
Casa Cucini. I don't know.
That's the place. Is that Bartorizzo? No?
No, we're not talking about Bartorizzo.
It's actually a modern art where Greta Garbo and all Ernest Hemingway, they wrote a lot of stuff up there, and it was part of
In Castamola?
no, my house, A House in Sicily by Daphne Phelps. Her uncle left her this house in the 1940s, just after the war, and it's Casa Cucini, and it's modern.
Where is it?
In Limina, up on top.
Is it Termina on top? I think
Yeah,
I haven't been,
go,
but
we gotta go.
I'll have to go. I mean, I go everywhere, but I didn't go.
I'll give you the information later for
Yeah.
that. We
Yeah.
might just
Yeah.
do a wrap on this one and talk about the next, what's on your
Sure.
next agenda. What do you think? Are you happy with that?
I love whatever you want me to do. I'm good. I'm happy to be
Lina?
here.
All right
Yeah,
then.
sorry, I've just got a work thing to do. Sorry.
Lina's texting
Yeah.
her boyfriend online here.
All
This is
right
not
then.
good.
So we're going to take a wrap.
Which one?
Hey, you be good.
You've got to.
Enjoy your life.
Always. Sempre,
Enjoy.
sempre.
Enjoy yourself.
See ya.
Well, thank you everybody for listening into this second episode with the beautiful Michael Cavalieri and his wife Maria, telling us his story. I hope you have really enjoyed it and that you listen into the next episode. Stay tuned because he's got an amazing journey. You don't want to
I'm
miss this.
so excited. I can't believe I've got so many questions for you at the end. I'm just jotting down all these things, but
All right, I'm
I-
ready for you, Lina. I'm ready.
I'm so excited. I'm so
ready
excited.
for you
Thank
guys.
you.
Grab your glass of vino. Everybody,
Salud.
the next
Is
one.
this glass 3? This is the same glass that we...
The
same
same.
glass?
I think I'm empty.
My wife's empty.
We're empty.
Maria, fill it up.
I do
Fill
want
it
to
up.
say it's an honour and a privilege to be able to speak
Absolutely.
to you. It really is.
Well,
I
for
feel
me,
Honor
blessed
is ours.
and I know
We are
Lina-
so excited. So
you
excited.
guys, we're all a part of the same thing, and that's why I think Carmela, and Lina, we met, and listen, I'm carrying it with me, man. Nobody's stopping me. No one.
No,
is
no, no.
stopping
You
me.
have to come here. I have to introduce you to the Sicilians here in Melbourne. You need to
I'm
meet
ready.
us.
I'm
Okay.
ready.
You want to go? We
COVID
wanna go.
at the
I'm
end.
depending on you. I'm depending
Yes,
on
don't
you.
worry. Don't worry.
Lina, hurry up. Hurry up. No,
I'll hurry up.
hurry up. Anyway,
With-
here we
All
are.
right then. Well, thank you everybody for listening and stay tuned to the next episode. Episode 3 with Michael Cavalieri and Maria. Mariuccia.
Maria.
Oh.
Bye everybody.